Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thanks very much for joining me at Retired and Living the Dream, live with Les in Thailand. Now, as I say, this one is going to be a bit of a different one today because I've got a chap that I knew from a couple of years ago, a Canadian guy, Dave, retired, don't give up. And we've managed to sort of scrape together a live stream, and we're going to both talk together. So he's got some interesting things to tell people about getting hacked and things like that. So he's at a hotel room in Chiang Rai. So hopefully the signal's okay. He's just literally arrived there. So I'm going to introduce Dave from Retired and Retired Don't Give Up. So welcome, David. Can you hear me there, David? Retire, don't give up.
I can.
Oh, that's not very good, David. Yeah, we can't hear you. And
no, that's. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's
fine.
Yeah, but it seems to be a little bit. To be a little bit delayed. Or is that okay now? Are we back to normal?
Well, it's. I'm not sure, but I got a pretty good blur.
You've got a good what? Sorry.
How's that? Is that better?
I can hear you and see you.
I just turned the sound off.
Oh, well, I can hear you. So, can everybody else hear him?
Yeah, there's a delay. There's a delay.
A bit of a delay. Okay, so anyway, we'll try to persist through. So what we're going to do, good afternoon, Les. Hope you employ well. We're okay. Thanks very much, Jackson. Can you see the comments there as well, Dave?
Yeah, I can.
Okie dokie. Okay, well, what we're going to do, we're just going to start off with you about you getting yourself hacked and what's happened. So take it away.
Yes, I can. Can you hear me now at full time?
Yeah. Everybody can hear you, I think, but it's a little bit delayed between me and you. So you just go ahead with your story and tell everybody what happened.
Yeah. There's quite a delay in the
Just carry on, Dave. We can hear you. So I know it's a little bit delayed, but again, if you carry on with what you've come on here for, tell everybody about being hacked, just go away. Just carry on.
Yeah. All right. So for those that don't know who I am, as being Les's friend, that's just it's repeating. It's repeating. I don't quite understand. I'm talking, and then a couple of seconds later, I'm hearing it come back to me.
Yeah, well, don't worry about that. Yeah, well, okay, pull your teeth. Don't worry about it. Crack on, Dave, because it's not repeating it here. I can hear you just singularly. So just carry on. Carry on with what you're saying.
Okay. So, yeah. So, the name of my previous channel, of course, is Retired Don't Give Up. And the reason why it's a previous channel is I got my Google account hacked, and it happened about 3 weeks ago. One night, I got an email saying my password for my Google account had been changed, and shortly after that, I got another email stating that my two-step authentication was also changed. So when I checked it, tried to put in my password, it said password was changed. and suddenly I couldn't access the account. I tried going through the recovery. Well, it turns out they changed my recovery email, and I could not access my emails because it was a google.com. And um, and unfortunately, uh, they changed the phone numbers, they changed the recovery phone numbers, and then suddenly uh, I was completely locked out, completely locked out. And we tried everything we could do. And the only thing that would work is if I had one, is called a authenticator passcode through Google. And now I have a new Google account, and have now got that. I have a new email. Well, the problem is, is my email. So anytime I need to do a to go into any of my accounts, whether it was my banking account, my credit, or simply Asian news, they had to verify who I was, and they were going to send me an email to my old email account. And of course, I have no access to that. So it really makes life difficult when it comes to trying to just let people know who you are. Now, uh, and of course, I lost my YouTube channel, and to sort of add salt to the food. So I've made a new YouTube channel, but like I say, it's like starting all over. You know, his picture is no good because he's facing the window. Here, you know what? See if I can change. See if I can change that. Uh, let's see if I can change that. Let's try. I'll just move that over here. And
Yeah, the picture's a
that's
little
probably
bit better
better, isn't
there.
it?
Yeah, the picture's much better there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's much better. Yeah. Okay. So um, again, uh, I've made a new email or a YouTube channel, but of course I'm starting over again. So anybody who goes on to my old channel can still view the videos, but the views don't do any good to me because again, I have no more access. I had 13,000 subscribers. I had just about 4,000 viewing hours, and and it's all gone. So I'm starting over. Um,
So
so
the
this is
moral of the
a
story, is, Dave, about people getting their accounts hacked. Have you any idea as to what might have hacked it, or did you answer some dodgy email, or have you got any idea whatsoever? Did you log on to some
not
website
no.
that maybe's no
There's
idea how it happened?
absolutely
So what preventative measures have you actually done now then? Now that you've basically lost a lot of information from the Google, your passwords, etc., etc. So what
no,
extra have you done now?
no. Every year, 7% of Google accounts get hacked.
Yeah, that's quite a lot.
So
When you think of how
the
many,
preventive measure that I have now, again, is called a it's called a password authenticator. You could just see it right there.
okay, yeah, I've got an
And now
authenticator.
when I click on that, what it does, let's see if I can get it there. It shows a code, and that
Yeah,
code changes every 60 seconds.
okay,
So
yeah,
so that's your last line of defense. So
yeah.
they could hack everything, they could take everything from you, but if you have this authenticator, you can get back into your account.
Yeah.
So that's really what you need to. You should have this. I mean, I didn't know. I'm sure Les doesn't have one. I'm sure most of you don't have one. But again, 7% of all Google accounts get hacked and are sold to the highest bidder.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, internet fraud is rife, but I mean, you're lucky that your bank account wasn't emptied, and you know they could have gone much further. I mean, losing your emails if they've got access to all of that stuff. Same as me. The only thing that I don't keep my passwords on the internet. I use my passwords, but I know what my passwords are, and I think if anything happened to my site, I'd just wrap everything in because it took me 6 years to get to here. So I know how devastating it is for you to lose everything, you know, because you put a lot of work into that, and somebody's just, you know, stupidly and ripped the heart out of your soul with taking you everything that you want, really. I mean, that's what it is. We're an aged people. We're in our 60s, so technology isn't up our street, and some 5-year-old will wipe the floor with us with technology. So those people who hack accounts and things like that, you know, it does a lot of damage to people. Well, there's a good 30-second delay there, David. I've never known it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean 30 seconds delay. At least 30 seconds delay from when I talk to when you
I'm
hear.
staring at a blank screen right now. So, you know.
You're staring at a blank screen. Oh, well, I don't know what's going on then.
Yeah.
Is your internet better on your phone?
I want to add one more thing about what happened today.
Okay.
So today, of course, my wife and I are buying a new car, and we're in Chiang Rai, and we are trading in our old car. And
Yeah.
of course, I had to add a deposit of 200,000 baht, and I transferred that money into my Bangkok bank, and so on Friday, we were going to go to the bank and take the 200,000 out and bring it with us. But Friday, it was the king's birthday, so the bank was closed. But we'll go back on Monday or on Saturday, open till noon. So it was closed again. So I took 50,000, which was your max withdrawal. So, you know, and that's a standard thing across the country now for transferring money maximum 50,000 baht. Quite an issue if you have to, like I did, we're in the middle of buying a new car. So at any rate, today we went and saw the car. We talked with the sales lady, and she said, you know, we'll go to the bank. The Bangkok bank in the mall here was open, even on a Sunday. So we went in, we waited, and what they did, instead of handing us the 150,000 plus 50,000 I already had, upped the daily limit on my bank card to 150,000, which meant I had to go out and then take the money out of the machine. And you can only take a maximum of 25,000 at a time. So we had to put the card in, take 25,000 out, and we had to do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times to get
Wow.
150,000. Now, this is this has I had the same problem when I bought my ADV 350. You know, I had to go and use my Wise card and take money out of the account, out of the machine at 220 baht transaction at that time. At least this time it's only a 20 baht charge. But I mean, in Canada, go into the bank, go to the teller, say I need 150,000 baht, and they would just give it to you. But this is Thailand, and it didn't work that way. Now we got our money. We went over to the other bank, the sales lady dealing with, and everything went smoothly. So she's got her money, and of course, everything is finalized. The gentleman came and looked at our used car, and he's buying it. good in this respect. So tomorrow we pick up our new Corolla Cross hybrid, we take it home.
Yeah, very good, very good. Well, I hope you have many, many happy miles and driving it. You know, it's always nice having a new car. Even though, I mean, this is a memory that you've got with regard to the upheaval of going to get it. Thailand, you know, TIT, this is Thailand. Many things happen in Thailand. And again, I'm going to go on to some of the things that's happened to me over the past week or so. Same thing, but you've just got to go with the flow here in Thailand.
Yes. So I see motorhomes are us. What's the name of the authenticator? It is called a Google Authenticator.
Yeah, I've got one. Well, I've got 2 or 3 authenticators. I think I've joined so many different things, and they've asked to put an authenticator on, but it works. You know, every time I do something, it sends a message. Is this you trying to get onto the system or whatever? So I have to type, yes, it's me. Then they send a number to my telephone. Then I've got to show them what number it is. So yeah, there's various things that are set up, and it's all protecting you. It might be a little bit of a faff on doing it, but when all said and done, it's protecting your money and it's protecting your information. Yeah, Jackson, I can still see Retire Don't Give Up on YouTube. Yeah, like Dave says, his channel's still on YouTube. He's trying to get his old channel back, but because he hasn't got the passwords or the recovery email, there's nothing he can do about it. So that's why he set it up, Retire Don't Give Up 2.0. Again, he's tried to do that, but unsuccessfully. Even though it's him, you know, he can prove to YouTube that he owns this channel, but trying to get to talk to somebody like a human being, it's almost impossible. So that's why he started the other YouTube channel, Retire Don't Give Up 2.0. He's going to sort of redo some of the videos that he's had and put on. It's all starting all over again, and it's difficult because the YouTube channel or the old YouTube channel is still up. It's crazy. Okay, there's a big pause. There's
Yeah,
a big.
I'm just trying to. Sorry, I'm just trying to pull up the new channel, but it is Retired Don't Give Up 2.0.
Yeah, I mean, I put that on my banner, but it comes up with when I show it. It starts up. There we go. Retire Don't Give Up 2.0, but then it goes over to you, and it just says Retire Don't Give Up. So yeah, that's the channel, his new channel, Retired Don't Give Up 2.0. So give him a subscribe for those people who are watching him, and get him back on the road to recovery with his channel. He's interesting. He lives up in Pair, up towards Chiang Mai. So he's a Canadian guy, so give him some questions and he'll give you all the answers. He's only been in Thailand now for a couple of years, but again, he's a newbie. So for all of those newbies that are trying to get into this country, ask the person. I've been here for 13 years, so I've sort of been there, seen it done, it, got the T-shirt. But for the new people who are coming out of Thailand, Dave can answer many of them questions as a newbie.
Over, under.
Okay, Dave. Well, I'm going to close you off now, and I'll start talking about what I'm talking about, and we'll do it again, but hopefully we'll have a better internet connection.
Having me on the show, and we. All right. Thanks very much.
Okay. Catch you later, Dave. Bye for now, mate.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Okay. So here we go. So I hope now that everybody can hear me. There was a bit of a time delay, which is sort of, we had a practice session yesterday, and his internet of his house was much better. So it was like an instant when we were talking to each other, whereas he's in the hotel internet, when the hotel internet is never really that good, is it? So there was a delay of 30 seconds, sadly. Now, we had a lot more things to say about various things, but it's just like very, very slow, and it can be frustrating for those people that are watching. So, okay, what's going on with me? Hello, Bill. Hello, Bill Simpson. When he says finish talking, say over. Yeah, but I can say over. I used to do all that a lot because I was the OIC in the fire brigade. So the messages for phonetic alphabet and stuff like that, and over, Roger. And but even if I said over, it would take 30 seconds or so before he got it. So going through the airwaves, it's a long way to Chiang Rai from here. So yeah, so what's getting on? Okay, what's going on with me at the minute? We are going for our marriage visa tomorrow. We've got a bunch of paperwork about that thick. We've sort of tried to think of anything and everything that they could ever ask for and more. So we've got a huge amount of paperwork, and going through the paperwork, because we've had this trouble one time before, and for those people who are going through the marriage visa also, we've got 12 months bank statements. We've copied the passbook so they can see everything. And what I've done also this year is that I've downloaded and copied, because I get paid in the UK into a UK bank, and then I transfer it to TransferWise, and then TransferWise over to Thailand. Now, majority of times when it does the money transfer into the Thai bank account, it comes up as FTT, foreign transfer. That's what the immigration want to see. It's a foreign transfer. It's come from abroad, and it's not an internal. But as luck has it, there's one payment that got paid to the Kasikorn Bank, because the Kasikorn Bank also works hand in hand with TransferWise, or Wise as it is now. It used to be TransferWise, sorry. And so therefore, it transferred it over to Kasikorn, then Kasikorn transferred it over to Bangkok Bank. But on the statement, that looks as if it's an interbank transfer, and that's what the immigration don't want to see. So in anticipation of them asking for 12 months supply of transfer from Wise, because last year they asked for, even though there was only one interbank transfer, they asked for 3 months of Wise statements. So what we've done, we've copied the 12 months. So we've got extra photographs. We've got taken the old passport in case they ask. We've sort of thought of every single eventuality, but the paperwork is horrendous. Separate photographs, so the different photographs, because you have to supply 4 photographs of us and a witness outside the house, inside the house. So we've done that. We've got extra photographs as well, just in case they ask for something else. Then we can say, there you go, there you go, there you go. Now this year, the immigration, this is our 7th year applying for the marriage visa. So out of 7 years, the past 6 years has been, every time we've attended the immigration office, they've asked for more information, which is crazy, because there's a set of information that they request, and then every time we go to the immigration, oh, we want to see this, we want to see that, we want to see the other, which is okay. It's not impossible, but it's just frustrating, because we live 45 minutes away from the immigration office. So we're going down on Monday tomorrow, and we've got a 3-day window from when it's supposed to be handed in. So that's just in case she asks for any information I can't think of, or my wife can't think of any extra information that they could possibly ask for that we don't already have. So fingers crossed, when we go down tomorrow, she'll stamp it and put it under consideration. And then in a month's time, we'll get our marriage visa. Now, the marriage visa, it's complicated. It's much easier to have the retirement visa. But when all said and done, I'm married, so you only need to have 40,000 baht coming into the bank account. I don't have 65 coming into the bank account every month. I'm close to it, 60 to 63. but it's not 65, is it? And for the retirement visa, it's 65. And we don't spend 65,000 baht a month anyway. So for us, the best way of doing it is, that's why we've gone with the marriage visa and the income method. So all we need to do is show 40,000 baht a month, which is brilliant. So that's that with regard to our marriage visa. So anyway, this is your chance, as I say, let's have a look. This is your chance to ask any questions that you want to do. So if you've got any questions that you want to know, please put a capital Q at the beginning of your question. So then I can see it's a question, because as the comments scroll by, I might miss it. And usually I give a long-winded answer. And so if I miss your question in the comments, then I'm sorry for doing that, but just put it again, because I usually give a long-winded answer. So if anybody's got any questions, please feel free to ask. I've been in Thailand now for 13 years, so I know a little bit about how the system works. There's still solutions to every problem that there is over here in Thailand with the visas and things like that. But it is a lot harder than it was even 5 years ago. Retire, don't give up. Thanks for the invite. You much appreciated, Dave. Sorry it didn't work as good as it did yesterday when we did our trial. Maybe it's the internet was very slow where you are. But that's it, hotel internet, isn't it? So thanks for joining us anyway. How do you get a tourist visa now? Same thing. You just turn up. If you're from one of the 93 countries that give you a visa on exempt on arrival, then you get 60 days, and then you can get another 30 days on that. So you can still get 90 days first entry into Thailand. But if you want to stop a bit longer than the 90 days, then what you can do, what I would suggest you do now, is apply for a long-term visa, 90 days from outside the country via the Thai embassy. And if you do that, then you can update it and you can request, and you'll get 180 days in Thailand by going through and applying for a tourist visa via the Thai embassy. So then that's the only way that now you could get the 180 days to stay in Thailand. The other option is apply for the DTV visa. Now that's up to 5 years. And then every 180 days, you've got to leave the country and do it that way. Nearly almost all of the land borders are closed now. You can't do the border runs like you did before. So you can't do it in the same day now, where you used to go out, walk back in, and that was it. Visa was all done with the agents and things like that. That is going to be soon, I think, a thing of the past. So it is, Thailand at present are shooting themselves in the foot, because all it is it's not very good news with regard to the visas. I understand why they're making it more difficult, because there are a lot of people flouting the system, flouting the laws, and starting illegal businesses up and things like that. So Thailand have been reactive, but they're sort of punishing everybody, tarring everybody with the same brush instead of tackling the people that need to be tackled. But then they don't want to be classed as going against a single nation, things like that. Question, Bill. I think Mom looks like a nice place, Les. Matt Fachan looks like a nice place. Your thoughts on that? I don't know where that is. Have you got the spelling right there, Bill? I don't know. Okay, question. Is that 90 days and 12 months period, or could I have 60 days in October, November, then another 60 days, January, February? It's 90 days. It's 90 days, and if you're still in the country for that 90 days, then you can extend and get another 90 days. So it's back to back. But if you leave the country, I believe that visa is finished then, because you've left the country. So you can actually update it in Thailand 90 days. Well, it's actually 60 days, then it can extend it up to 30 days, which gives you 90. Then you can extend it again within Thailand for another 60 days, and then you can extend that for another 30 days, which gives you then 180 days. But again, it's like everything else. The information on the visas at the minute is changing so fast. So the proper people to contact is, if you're going to do it, it's better to do it outside of the country. So send an email to your Thai embassy and ask them what the details are, and they'll give you the 100% guaranteed the way to do it. Now, there's many people on YouTube giving different advices and things like that, and I'm no different. This is the rule as far as I am aware and I understand. But when all's said and done, the rules have changed so many times over the past 3 or 4 months. It's crazy. They're cracking down on the education visas, the DTV visas. Whether they go on for much longer, I don't know, because there is some unhappiness about the DTV visa because people are abusing the system. Now, that lasts up to 5 years at 180 days. And then you have to leave the country for a day or two, come back, and you get another 180 days. So there's still ways of doing it. It's not impossible, but it's not as easy as what some other countries are making entry into the country. Yes, Easter party, like, oh, I've not heard. The only things that I know is Ban Saray, Ban Chang, and then where we are, Ban Pe, then Lee Mei Pim. That's the only places I've not heard of that one, Bill. So, but then we were at another little place, Ban Kai, where we filmed the coffee shop, Ban Kai. Beautiful, couple of little coffee shops there. We would never ever have gone down them roads. But we were just visiting various places, and we just drove around the area and down some of the roads that we'd never been before. So that's the beauty of being retired. You can just go and do anything you want, can't you? Because we've got all the time in the world. We've done our preparations now for the visa, so hopefully tomorrow, that's another headache out the road. So it's the 8th tomorrow, I believe. So then we only have 12 more days, and then we go on our holidays for 2 weeks. So we're trying to get everything done before the 10th. We've took our car in to go and get the brake service, and I'll come on to that in a minute. Question, do you still keep in touch with people from the fire service? There's a couple of people that I speak to, that I email. And when I go back to the UK, in fact, me and the lad that we joined the fire brigade together, we joined it on the same day. And we're still good friends now from all them years ago. And he still goes out around Redcar on a Friday night. So I join him and his group of people, and we go around and have a few beers. So yes, I keep in touch with a few people that I used to be in the fire brigade with. I've been to a Hawaiian shirt party the last time I was over there, and they have sort of dues every month. Every year, at least 2 or 3 times a year. And I've been to a couple of them, but obviously because I can't, do anything over here. I have invited them all, and I say I'll buy everybody a beer if they come to Pattaya for a reunion or something like that. But whether they do it or not, I don't know. But I have met a few ex-colleagues in Pattaya as well, and there's a few firefighters that I used to work with actually live in Thailand as well. So yeah, I still keep in touch. You're invited to a beer and a coffee when you come to Koh Samui. Oh, thank you very much for that. Yeah, just keep in touch, because we're there on the 23rd to the 27th in Koh Samui. I forget the name of the hotel, but yeah, we're looking forward to Koh Samui. My wife's never been there before, and it'll be Koh Samui is the island that changed my life and my view of life forever. And it was a good change of mind, good change of feeling, and a good change of lifestyle as well, Koh Samui. And I'm forever grateful to Koh Samui and opening my eyes to a different lifestyle. And again, I'm going to do a video about that, and it will probably be an emotional video because it really, really did change my life, Koh Samui, and it's a beautiful place. And then after Koh Samui, we're going to Koh Lanta. So again, I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, getting back to the car. The car's 6 years old now, and I always like to take it in and get the brakes looked after before we're going on a long journey. It's something like a 14-hour drive to where we're going to Koh Samui, and then driving down to Koh Lanta, and then driving all the way. It's going to take at least 2 days to get down there driving, and 2 days coming back. So we're going to do a lot of mileage in the car. So I wanted the brakes checked. Now, I'm not mechanically minded at all. You know, I only open the bonnet when I want to put water in or if any of the lights come on. And thankfully, 6 years old, the car, and it's still going okay. So I took it to the garage. I don't take it to Nissan anymore because Nissan, they padded the bill, and yeah, they did things to the car that I didn't like. It's out of warranty period with the Nissan garage anyway. So we found a reliable garage in Banpei where we live. So we take the car there to go and get. They're honest as the day is long. They're busy, so they've got plenty of customers in there. It's not a backstreet garage, but it is I got recommended the place anyway. And again, because I don't know anything about cars and things like that, I wanted the brakes checked. So I'll give the guy the go-ahead. Well, through my wife, because my wife obviously speaks Thai, so she spoke to him. I told her what I wanted him to know. I said, if the brakes need replacing, the front or the back brakes, replace them both together, so they're all brand new. So we give him the permission to do that, and that was 2,600 to get the new pads and new shoes. So 2,600, that's about 60 quid or something like that. Incredibly cheap anyway. But we went, had a spot of lunch, came back, and as it was, because he was busy, they just put the car on the ramps. And he had a look at it, and we sat there watching him. He did it. He blew all the dust, greased all the springs, and, you know, they spent maybe 30 minutes, you know, did everything to it, looked at them. And he came across, he said to my wife, there's about 20,000 kilometers worth of still linings on the brakes. So he said, no need to change them. So we said, how much was that? And he said 300 baht, which is like 7 quid. 7 quid to do a brake service and make sure everything was working okay. Crazy, isn't it? You know, but that's how cheap it is in Thailand. And they were incredibly honest, which was good. So that was my visit to the garage, and I was happy with that. Okay, went to security. Somebody's trying to hack my account by the looks of it. Switch that off because it's a different thing now. So yeah, so now the car is okay, and we're happy with the car. So yeah, we're happy with the car, and there's still a couple of more washing videos to do before we actually go away in 12 days. A question, is it better to apply for a retirement visa in Australia or Thailand? It's much better to apply for it in Australia. The easy fix days were, and I used to give this advice to people as well, is that just come to Thailand, enter on a tourist visa, 60-day visa, and you get 60 days, and then you can extend it for another 30 days, which gives you 90 days. And then you can apply for the tourist visa. You can apply for the retirement visa from the tourist visa. That's still possible if you use an agent. But as with everything else, the prices have gone up, and that might cost you between 45 and 60,000 baht to use an agent to do that. But if you apply for it from your home country, then you've got 90 days in which to do everything. And because you've applied for your retirement visa or visa based on retirement in your home country, then you can prove that you've either got the 800,000 baht in the bank, or the equivalent of 800,000 baht in the bank, or you can show them that you have an income of more than 65. This is from your home bank account. So you can even do the income method via proof of showing that what your income is every month, that it is over 65,000 baht. So again, I would do it. Then you can open a bank account yourself as well, because the banks can see that you've actually done all of the spade work, if you like, and all the questions are already answered. So the immigration will welcome you with their open arms if you've got 800,000, and it's much, much easier to do it from your home country than to try and do it again here in Thailand. That's what I'm saying about Thailand shooting themselves in the foot. The tax issue still isn't sorted out yet. That should have been sorted out by this month. It should have been put in the Royal Gazette about foreigners not having to pay tax, but that's still all up in the air yet. The visa situation, what's going on? The baht at the minute is terribly, the exchange rate is really, really low. It affects everybody. So people are looking at other countries where they get value for money. And even the government are looking at how tourism is affected because of the strength of the baht. I mean, it was only a month or so ago, we were getting 44 baht to the pound, and now it's 42.20, which is like 70 or 80 pounds a month less because of the exchange rate. Now, 70 or 80 pounds may not sound a lot, but if you're on holiday, it is quite a lot. And if you're living here full time, it is quite a lot. It's quite a chunk of you. It's almost like a week's shopping, just about. So that's what I'm saying. At the minute, Thailand, the sheen is rubbing off in Thailand. It's still a beautiful place to live, and I wouldn't wish to live anywhere else. But what's going on at the minute is life over here at the minute with the bureaucracy and the paperwork and stuff like that. They certainly aren't making it easy. So what else has been going on there? Let's have a look. So, okay. For regular viewers of my channel who's watched me do my Department of Work and Pensions with regard to the pensions being frozen here in Thailand because we're in a non-reciprocal country, wow, have I got a video for you next week. I'm going to do a video next week. The information's actually just come out. December the 2nd, I think it was ratified, but I'm still getting all the details together. But it is a shocking video. It will be a very informative video. There's a lot of facts going on with regard to this, and it is going to be a warning to all of those people who claiming their pension rises, saying I'm living at my sister's, my uncle's, my dad's, my mum's, my mother's house in the UK, but they're actually living in a non-reciprocal country. Wow. You better take heed of the video that I'm going to do next week, because the big boys are gunning for people like you, and they will be looking for people like you, and they will make examples of those people who are committing fraud with the Department of Work and Pensions living over here. So many people have wrote to me saying, I'm just going to say I'm living at my uncle's, my dad's, my mother's, or wherever. But the information I'm going to give in a video next week, it's going to blow that out of the water, and I'm going to give examples of what they can do. And it's frightening what the government are going to be able to do. Going to be able to look into everything, whether you give them permission or not. And I won't give you the name of the bill that's just been passed by the government, but it's been ratified by the ministry, and it's come into law now. It's been ratified. They've been looking at this for a year now, and now they've actually passed the bill. So this will open a lot of people's eyes, and I mean, I wish everybody luck and success to those people who are getting the increases, but I think I've always been an honest person. Honesty is the best policy, and I'm going to bite the bullet next year when I get my pension, and I think that's it. My pension's going to be frozen over here, but when all's said and done, I'd still have a frozen pension over here than live back in the UK, that's for sure. Question. Hi, Les. Firstly, thanks again for all your efforts regarding the frozen pension malarkey. My question is, how have you been on your holiday yet? No, we haven't been on the holiday yet. We're on the 20th. We go away on the 20th. And we're looking forward to that. It's only 12 days away, so the wife's getting all the stuff ready to get packed and stuff like that. We're sort of getting the garden all tidied, all the weeds. We're doing everything we can in the garden because it's going to be unkept for 2 weeks. We put I've got rain cloths to go over me new furniture in my coffee corner, because when we come back next year, I'm going to put a roof on the coffee corner so we can sit underneath there all the time. Because at the minute we've just got the shade cloth over it, and if it rains, the furniture underneath will get wet. But we're going to put a proper roof on it next year. That's just another project I'm going to do. My inverter for my solar power is broken, so I've been arguing with Power Mister about getting the warranty claim. I'll do another video on that, and that's not it doesn't sing the praises of Power Mister, that's for sure. When there's a warranty, when it doesn't work, and they just sort of wash their hands of it and just say tough. But again, I'll go into more detail with that. But I've been arguing with them over for 2 weeks now, and there's a language barrier because it's a Chinese company, Power Mister, sold by a Thai agency. So there's lots of complicated issues that's gone about that. But it's frustrating. But when all said and done, it's just like goes over your head, and it is the way what it is. Never mind. TIT. This is Thailand. The snooper charter, it's called a different word to that, and I won't say what word it is because that'll be sort of the heading on my thumbnail title. But it is what it's the acronym to it is a weird word. It was not a weird word. It's a wonderful word, but they denounce it because of it. The words that it's saying, it isn't really that, but yes, it is. And now, because Rachel Reeves said in a budget that she's going to crack down on fraud and benefit cheats. And isn't it amazing that the state pension is classed as a benefit? Wow. Now, I've got all legal terms and definitions. It's a benefit, but it's a benefit we're paid into, but it's still classed as a benefit when all said and done. Now, this is a vital part of their strategy because they're catching people who are defrauding benefits. And now your state pension is a benefit that comes under the umbrella of trying to get people on fraud with a benefit. But again, it'll be out probably Tuesday or Wednesday, and it'll say what it is on the thumbnail. But it's just come out December the 2nd. It was ratified, and I can't take credit for this, but I'll put links onto the person who originally brought it out, and she brought another video out as well with regard to the banks, which I'm going to discuss as well. The fact that, unbeknown to majority of people with the banks, you giving other people access to your accounts because you haven't unchecked a little box on your services and again I'll come on to that in the video, but it's very, very eye-opening. It really is, on the Big Brother and the AI bots looking for anomalies, and then they'll report that to the people, the human investigators, if you want. And the bots work 24 hours a day. They're going to look through thousands and thousands of bits of information, in seconds, as opposed to like human beings. So Big Brother is there watching you. So my advice is to those people who are flouting the system, your days could be numbered and you could end up out of pocket, because believe you me, they will take their money out for sure. If you worked all your life and paid your taxes, it shouldn't matter when you live, and the annual increase. The Labour Communist Party punish those who work. Well, it's not just the Labour. I mean, the Conservatives did it as well. The Conservatives were challenged with the fact, and they said, no, we've got no plans in changing it. And neither is the Labour. But there is still a fight going on in the background with the justice for frozen pensions. And there is a big effort now trying to ratify the agreement, just to turn around and say, listen, it's a 70-year-old law. It needs updating. Why you're punishing people that, don't live in the UK, where some people don't live in the UK, but they live in the reciprocal country, so they get the pensions, and everybody's paid the same amount into the pensions. Just because of where they live, they're punished because they don't live in the reciprocal country. So again, behind the scenes, there's lots of things going on. I was unsuccessful, partly because they make the rules up the way they're going. By the decision maker, they decided that in their mind, their position was you have to show them, prove to them that you have every intentions of staying, and that is your place of stay, if you like. But if you can prove that, there's like one guy said to me, he was in the UK for 8 months and he managed to keep his pension rise, even though he came back to Thailand and they reduced it. But he had enough proof to say, listen, I had every intentions of staying in the UK. I stayed there for 8 months. I did X, Y, Z. So therefore, I made every effort to stay in the UK, but I couldn't afford to stay in the UK. That's why I've come back to Thailand. And he maintained his higher rate. It's been frozen again, but at least he got the higher rate for going back. So it is possible. It's not totally impossible, but they don't make it easy. It's funny how they use the 180-day rule or the 183-day rule for paying taxes, and you only have to be in the country for less than 183. Even if you're there for 6 days, you can still be liable to pay tax. But if you live in the UK for 6 months and you move back out again, it's like, oh, well, we don't think you're going to stay here long enough, so we're not going to give you your pension. Crazy, isn't it? It's 2-tier system, 2-tier pensions. Crazy. Yeah, the state pension was rebranded as a benefit so that lifelong dole dossers can get the same money in their state pension. There's a bit of a disagreement with that, but again, I'll come on to that, the termination of it, the terminology of it, as to why they say it's the pension and why they call it a benefit and not a pension. Again, the government like their terminology, don't they? So it's the dice is loaded against you. The vast majority of people scamming the system, and even UK. Oh, yeah, I agree with that. Absolutely agree with that. There's 1.5 million foreign people on benefits or whatever. And again, the 2-child cap that's just been reduced. All of these people, the foreigners that have got like 6, 7, 8 kids. I think that there was a little documentary that I watched the other day, and the profiled one family, and because of the cap, it's going to get reduced. They get another £3,500 a year in benefits because the child cap has been removed. Imagine getting a £3,500 a year pay rise. That would be absolutely fantastic, wasn't it? They are making it absolutely difficult for, justifying those people that are on the low wage, the minimum wage, when some people are on benefits are getting more for doing nothing than, those people who get out of bed every morning. Now, there was an interesting guy that I watched the other day, and he sort of came up with a bit of a solution, but I can knock that solution on the head, really. He was saying for those people who receive their benefits, they should do 16 hours of community work every week as some help towards their benefit, if you like. Now, I work for the probation service and quite a number of years ago, and the old Jobsworth hat comes on, because we were always looking for jobs to take offenders out, to serve their community service. So we needed jobs that we can take unskilled, unqualified people and do, and these jobs were such as gardening, cutting the grass, cutting people's hedges and stuff like that, you know, community work in the community. But what was going on, and I agree with it in some ways, is that the council were saying, we used to have councilmen taking care of the verges, taking care of the grass and things like that. So that used to be a paid job. So the reason why there isn't a paid job now, because you're doing it as, you know, under the guise of community service. So the council are actually saving money by not employing a council person to go cut the grass and the hedges and things like that. Now, there's some merit in that. Community centres, we were going around painting and decorating and you know, making community centres. And again, the same argument is, you should employ tradesmen to paint, you should employ tradesmen to fix things, you should employ tradesmen to do this and that and the other. And for every job that you do, taking a community service worker on who was paying his debt to society, there was an equal argument for those people saying, we're taking jobs away from people. So how can you really argue against that? It's a difficult argument to do. There has to be jobs that you can take people out to punish the workers, punish the crime people, but also it is taking jobs away from other people. It was a very, very difficult job to do, working from the probation service. I worked for the probation service, taking between 12 and 20 offenders out on a day for 8 hours and keeping them actually trying to do something. But I take my hat off to the people working in the probation service, community service workers, because it's a hard task. It really is. So again, I see both sides of it, and trying to get those people who are claiming benefits to work 16 hours a week. The administration costs probably outweigh the 16 hours of work that they're going to do. Trying to find that work in the first place is going to be difficult. When all said and done, everybody's cutting costs for everything. But still, even with the community service or taking people out, there's a cost. You have to pay somebody to manage these people. So what the answer is, I don't know. But certainly paying all of these people to sit around and do nothing isn't the right answer either. Where do I live? They can do jobs that have been cut, like litter picking. But even litter picking, you know, litter picking, cleaning. We used to clean the rivers up. You know, people pollute the rivers, shopping trolleys and stuff, and car tires and stuff like that. But then there's the health and safety. You know, there's the PPE, protective clothing, and things like that. That costs. And if you put somebody in protective clothing, then you've got to wash that protective clothing, because if you give it to somebody else, or if somebody's got a skin rash or something like that, the logistics of doing it is horrendous. Litter picking, you have to do a safety, you know, health and safety risk assessment plan for even collecting rubbish off the floor. But then, you know, the council should be picking the rubbish off the floor. So you're taking the job away from somebody. That's what I'm saying. There's always an objection to anything that you suggest in this country. Well, when I say this country, I mean the UK. So it's a very, very difficult thing to do. But if they come up with an answer to it, I take my hat off to them. But every which way they're doing, community service doesn't work. There's no places in the prisons, so they're sending people out early after 40% of doing their time. That they're releasing them early. Where's the punishment in that? You know, crime in the UK is just a joke at the end of the day, because a lot of the people just do enough to keep them out of prison. You know, stealing stuff less than £200 isn't classed as a crime anymore. If I ever stole something for 200 quid, it was classed as a crime. You know, gone are them days. It's like, just forget about it. It doesn't even get noted down in statistics. Anyway, that's my rant over that. It's all to do with, you know, those people claiming benefits and stuff like that. And they are after, the bean counters have got rattled up now, and they have to show that they're making a positive effort. And I agree that they should catch anybody and everybody that is committing fraud, and without turning a blind eye. Hi, everybody from Sakon Nakhon. Hello from Sakon Nakhon. Yeah, they'd be busy in Thailand picking up rubbish, Jackson. Yeah. That's sad to see. Such a beautiful country, Thailand. We were on a boat, a market boat coming from Koh Samet, coming back over to Rayong. And on the boat, they had little rubbish bins everywhere. And there was a guy stood up because the boat was full. His foot was right next to the bin, little small bin. He had a bottle of Red Bull, small bottle like that. If he dropped it by his foot, it would have fell in the bucket in the bin. But what did he do? No, he just threw it in the sea. And a couple of other people who had sandwiches, the litter went in the sea. And it's just like, come on, you know, you live in a beautiful country. Why are you polluting it? Why are you making it, you know, the polystyrene, stuff like that? I mean, you know, Big C and Tesco are doing the little bit for plastic bags, charging 1 baht for every plastic bag that you get. And that's good. I mean, the plastics over here, there is a lot of plastic stuff that's degradable anyway, and it will degrade over time. But the rubbish, sometimes the beaches aren't the cleanest beaches in the world. That's for sure. Even Phuket, stunningly beautiful as it is, still have dirty beaches. But people go down and tidy up. My wife, who used to sell the sausages on the beach, she hasn't done it now for maybe 9 or 10 months. She still goes down there once or twice a month for a couple of hours to help clean the beach after big events and things like that. So there is an effort to clean the beaches every now and then. But yeah, people need to be educated about dropping litter over here. There's bins everywhere. Absolutely, bins are everywhere. And we don't have the silliness over here where you have 3 or 4 different bins. That's for your garden waste. That's for plastics. That's for this. This is for that. Everything goes in the same bin. And to get our bins collected, it costs us 30 baht, which is about 70 pence a month. And the bins get emptied twice a week. It's crazy. Norman 7527. Good morning, Les. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I hope everybody is well. You're okay. You're a helpful and kind guy, Les. Thank you very much for that. Much appreciated. How come employees stopped selling sausages? It was just one of them things. It's one of them things. She's gone back into retirement and she likes retirement. She used to make 300 to 400 baht a day. Not a lot of money for 8 hours a day. And when all said and done, you know, she went down there and she had the conversation with the other like-minded Thai people, but she got a little bit sick of the politics as well, because politics is everywhere. People were complaining about so-and-so, you know, they're selling stuff and they haven't got a license. They're holding events to stop us from putting our SAM laws in here. When they have the big events, we don't get discounted for selling our stuff. You know, we get shoved along the road and there's less space for the... So yeah, there's all sorts of politics and that goes on. People complaining, and she said, I can do without that. So she started to give it up, but she still got the certificate to be able to go down and sell sausages if she wants to go and do it. But in reality, whether she actually does that anymore now, I don't know. But again, it's like everybody complains about the jobs, don't they? You know, we went to a restaurant the other night, beautiful sunset going on, and all of these people were coming in to watch the sunset, and the staff like, oh, another car. Oh, we're going to get a late finish tonight, because they get paid the same amount whether it's full or whether they've only got 1 or 2 people in. But even the staff are complaining. So even in Thailand, people complain about working, and you know, if you're working all the time, it's busy, then the day goes quick, but nobody wants to be busy here. So the things, the arguments, we had a lot at work when I was the gaffer. We used to have a whinge session once a week, and people, I said, just air your problems out rather than letting them fester, and we'll get it sorted out. Rather than everybody whinging in the morning, I said, open house. I said, it's, feel free to say whatever you want to do. And we sorted many problems out over a chat rather than letting them get them festered. And we got it sorted out, and life was much happier. In fact, we had one of the happiest shifts in our station because of our attitude and the way we sort of dealt with everything. It's called work for a reason. Yeah, it is called work for a reason. But sometimes when you've got the opportunity not to work, that is a good reason also. It's like me, I'm going to do a video. Many people have asked me why I retired at 50, because I could. That's the only reason why I retired at 50. Do I regret retiring? Not at all. It's been absolutely a roller coaster of a ride, and I've loved every minute of it. And I retired at 50 because I joined the right job when I was 19 years old. A 19-year-old being told you can retire at 50, you're an old man. But here I am now, 65, and I've been retired now for 15 years, and I've loved every single minute of it. Had I have worked in the other industries, like the steelworks, because I was in the steelworks before we went on strike, and I had to look for another job because 6 weeks with no money. And I'm thinking, okay, so I applied for the police and the fire brigade at the same time, and the fire brigade accepted me, and I joined the fire brigade and never looked back. And then when I got to 50, it was just like, okay. But I had other options because I went back to college at 42, learned how to be, I got the City and Guilds for being an electrician because I knew 50-year-old, if I wanted to earn a little bit of money, I had another job. I could have stayed on the fire brigade without a doubt. But it was nice to get your lump sum and your pension and have the choice to work. And I retired at the age of 50, and I was on maybe £1,000 a month when I was 50-year-old, and it was still enough to live on. And now, in 15 years, my expenditure is about £500 extra in 15 years. It's not too bad, is it? And I can still live a good life over here on £1,500 a year. I'm not a wealthy guy. I don't have a lot of savings. I have some, but not a lot. And we just sort of live month by month on my pension, and we can afford to live over here. A far better life over here on 1,500 quid than £1,500 in the UK, because I'm on sort of the minimum wage sort of income in the UK. That would exclude me from many benefits. So that I'd struggle to live on that amount of money. Tea and toast was always a morning session. I can see. Yes, it was. I guess in the 80s there was a lot of TV info ads keeping Britain tidy. It's a shame here. It's the norm for people to drop litter. Please, the soy dogs pulling the bin. Yeah. The soy dogs and the rubbish. Yeah. That's one of the things that spoils it, is the lack of care sometimes with rubbish, and people fly tip all over the place here. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Fire service retirement is now 60. Ridiculous. Imagine trying to lift LPP in your late 50s. 100%. Yeah, it's crazy. A 60-year-old cannot do. It's a fit man's game being a firefighter. I was lucky because I became crew manager. I didn't have to do the physical stuff that other people have to do. And the fire brigade said, there'll be office-based jobs and stuff like that for you to do when you get to above 55, because you have to have a fitness test as well. And they only have so many office jobs. They can't put everybody to an office job. And what's coming around the corner as well is debility. If you are not able to do a firefighter's job, then they can retire you early, so you'll never get your full firefighter's pension either. They're looking into that. At the minute, they're closing all sorts of fire stations, reducing the fire cover. That's dangerous for firefighters. You know, I mean, only a firefighter knows what another firefighter does and what the responsibilities are. And it's crazy. If somebody turns up at a house fire with 3 personnel on the fire engine, they cannot commit anybody into that house until they got back up. But the people are still shouting and screaming for us to get in there and save their loved ones. It's dangerous for firefighters, but it's like every occupation. They're cutting back on the police, cutting back on the ambulance, the public sector services. They're just cutting them down to the bone. No matter. This is why the countries fall into rack and ruin, because it's just cut instead of having a better service for everybody. Les, can you show 65,000 from work wages when applying for a non-O visa when you're going to retire? Yes, you can, as long as you've got it's 3-month statement. If you've got 3-month statements to show the embassy of your income, then that will class as the income method. So yes, you can do that, and that's what I'm saying. That's why it's simpler to do in your home country to apply to the Thai embassy, because if you were in Thailand, then you have to show 12 months income for the income method, or put the 800,000 baht into the bank account. So yeah, it's much simpler to do it. The income method for me is fantastic. 65,000 every month. It's easy to do. You don't have to tie up 800,000 baht into your bank account in Thailand and just let it sit there. And even now, as an extra, because when we went to the bank and got our 12-month bank statements, the manageress was talking to my wife and saying now that you have to have your 800,000 baht in the bank account for 4 months. Immigration asked for it to be there for 3 months, but Bangkok Bank asked it to be there now for 4 months before they give you the letter to say that you meet the criteria of the income, having 800,000 baht in your bank account for 4 months. So that's just another add-on. So altogether, you have to have your 800,000 2 months before the application and 4 months after. So now that's tied up for 6 months that you cannot do anything with it. And if you go below the 800,000 baht, you don't get your visa the following year. So that's what I'm saying. That's just another nail in the Thailand coffin for making it difficult for people. But the 65,000 baht method, the income method, is the way to go. Apply for it through the embassy, Thai embassy in your home country. And yeah, you'll be able to open a bank account because you're already showing what you need to show. So that's easier. It might be sounds more difficult, but it isn't really, because the embassy's there to help you as well. They'll guide you through the whole system. It's not difficult at all to do, and that's the way that I would suggest. And if you want to come along here and stay a long time with the retirement visa, do it that way. Using an agent coming into Thailand, it still can be done, but if you meet the criteria in the first place, do it yourself. The visa itself is 1,900 baht, so like 50 quid, as opposed to £1,000. I know I'd sooner pay 50 quid than £1,000, that's for sure. Question, do you ever worry about cancer as an ex-firefighter? A firefighter is 3 times more likely to get cancer than any other profession. Yes, I've seen that. There was a documentary on TV the other day with regard to the cancer risk to firefighters. Now, I've got emphysema. I was diagnosed with emphysema maybe 3 or 4 years or so ago, and they put that down to the fire brigade. So at the minute, I've got a claim going on through one of the solicitors. You know, if you make a claim and it doesn't, no blame, no claim, was it? I forget the terminology of it now, but if they lose, it doesn't cost me anything. But if they win, they get 50% of my claim or whatever. So that's been going on for 3 years now. Because that's the only thing they can link it to, is the breathing of the smoke and stuff like that. And I had positive arguments for that as well, because you could only wear a breathing apparatus set on the instructions of the officer in charge. And there are many buildings that we went to, or house fires that we finished with, and we used to have to shovel all the stuff out the windows without wearing a breathing apparatus. So all the smoke and all the pollution from that, it doesn't do your lungs any good. And the fact now you have to wear your breathing apparatus set for car fires, for any type of fires. And we had a lot of rural fires as well, and the smoke from the heather and from the grass, that's bad for your lungs as well. So I got a claim in for that, but cancer doesn't worry me. I've had my checks for cancer and things like that. I've had my blood test done. I'm okay with that. I had a couple of things that I thought might be skin cancer, but I went to the Bangkok hospital and I had them biopsied and everything was okay with that. So when all said and done, I'm 65, so things are going to start going wrong. I just accept, my fate. It is what it is. We're all going to die one day. I want to live as long as I can. That's why I've lost the 28 kilos through the keto, doing the keto diet, lost 28 kilos. I'm sort of off it now because it's close to our holidays and we've been invited a couple of times out for meals and things like that. So I'm 90 kilos as it is now. And when I come back from my holidays, I'll put a couple of kilos on. I know I will, because I'll be eating and drinking. And then my plan is to go down to 85 kilos. My original plan was get down to 90. I'm 90 now and I love it. I really do. I feel much, much better. But my other goal now is get down to 85, which is a more sustainable weight, and everything feels better. I mean, I carried a 20-litre jug of water the other day, because we get 20-litre jugs of water. And I just thought I used to carry this around 24 hours a day, 20 litres, which is 20 kilos. Crazy. That's the way it is anyway. No, so don't worry about cancer. Everything is owned by private equity here in Britain now. The rot started. Yeah. Again, Britain at the minute isn't in a good place. Question. But then you have health insurance. Yes, I've got health insurance. I don't have, it's not a lot for the health insurance, but it's better than nothing at all. I had, it's cost me 25,000 baht a year for 700,000 bahts worth of cover. I've done a couple of videos of my friend being in the public hospital. And I've said to my wife, if anything goes wrong with me, send me to the public hospital, because it'll be much, much cheaper. My friend who had the hand infection, he's had operations and he had all sorts of things done to his hand. And he spent 2 weeks in hospital, and the total bill came to less than 150,000 baht. But he had a quote from not the top hospital, Bangkok hospital, down to a different hospital, but one above the public hospital. And they quoted him at least 585,000 baht for 10 days in hospital with possible surgery and medication and stuff like that. So 150 for 2 weeks as opposed to 585 for 10 days. So I know which one I'd go to, the public hospital. Different doctors, you might have to wait a little bit longer, but when all said and done, he's out of hospital now. He's getting skin grafts done to his hand. He was in hospital the other week for 6 days in a private room in a public hospital, skin graft to his hand, and that came to 55,000 baht. Again, it's not a lot of money to pay, but if you haven't got nothing, it is a lot of money. But 55,000 in comparison, if you'd have been to the private hospital, it'd probably been 150 to 200,000 for the same treatment. Yeah, I've just got a message off my friend Dave. The internet at his hotel is very, very slow. That's why it was delayed. So he's checked the internet speed and it's very, very poor. Blah, blah, blah. Yep. So again, 25,000 baht for me for the health insurance. When I'm 66, it goes up to 31 or 32,000 baht, which is for me is still affordable. And although people say 700,000 baht isn't a lot, it's better than nothing at all, isn't it? and it's because I've had insurance since I've been here. Well, certainly for the last 10 years, I've had insurance. So I've got a no claims policy type of thing. And, you know, that's why it's so cheap. Right. No win, no fee. That's the one. Yeah. 25 is the maximum thing take. I was at I forget now. It's three, maybe it's nearly 4 years ago now since that happened. So let's see what happens. But the fire brigade have to admit liability, and they won't, because then I'm sure he said I might even have to go to court. I said, well, give me plenty of notice for going to court, and I said, I'll catch the plane. I'll go over I'll certainly go and fight my case because of the breathing apparatus. And I've got a very, very, very good, and it's wrote down in writing because I was not put on a charge, but we were going to a house fire, and I put my breathing apparatus set on, and the driver braked very, very sharply to avoid hitting another car, and I hurt me back. And the officer in charge put me on the charge for putting my breathing apparatus set on without his strict permission. And it was to cover his back because I was injured. But when all said and done, that's a good case for me, because it was the officer in charge, even though we were going to a house fire, that he told me not to put the set on until we got to that. Anyway, that's just the way it is. The UK 3-litre police chased a woman and issued her fined £150 because she poured. Oh yeah, I've seen that. Poured it down the drain. Again, there was another guy, wasn't it? You know, if you threw a cigarette butt on the floor, I agree with that. Throwing a cigarette butt on it is littering, but they were going to charge him £150, and some do-gooder says, pick it up, put it in the bin, they can't charge you. So that's what he did, and then they just walked away. But had he not been there and told them what the law was, he would have ended up paying £150 fine for, you know, throwing a cigarette butt on the floor. Again, the focus on all the wrong people in the UK. You know, litter is still litter when all said and done. But, you know, the content police, with regard to if you write some nasty, hurty words, then knock on your door now. But somebody who does anything wrong, I mean, look at that 85-year-old guy who got beaten up and he shot and killed one of the people. They're suing him for killing one of the perpetrators, and they showed you the doorbell footage. They were kicking the door down, breaking in, and he defended himself, but they're suing him. Crazy country. Oh, Dave sent that message an hour ago. I've just got it now. I know a bloke who had 2 amputation operations. It cost him an arm and a leg. Oh, yeah. I know a guy who used to drink and drive a lot. He would just come over to this country. He had no insurance, very little money, and he drove on the wrong side of the road on his motorbike, and he hit a car, and he had to have 2 toes amputated. This is real. He had 2 toes amputated, and he got infection in his 3rd toe, so they were on about maybe he's eventually taken his foot off. But before they took his foot off, he actually died because he was an alcoholic, and he was just drank himself to death. But he was just crazy, driving on the wrong side of the road, and the bike that he was driving, it was a rented motorcycle, and that wasn't insured. But by the following day, it was insured. And thankfully, the insurance paid some of the cost of his operation. But he went in a public hospital, and he got the operation done. 2 toes amputated. I don't know how much it cost, because we sort of parted company, if you like, because I told him not to drink and drive, and he did it. And I've got no time for people who were stupid and who drink and drive. I don't tolerate idiots or people who have a bad attitude towards the Thai people. Should do this, should do that, should do the other. Thailand is wrong, Thailand is this, Thailand is that. No, if you don't like Thailand, go back home to your home country. Also, for negative people, I stay away from negative people. So that's it. So anybody got any other questions? We've been on here now for an hour and 25 minutes. Hour and 25 minutes. And it's just starting to get a little bit dark now. It's beautiful. I mean, the rainy season's gone now. Beautiful blue skies, cooler weather. It's absolutely perfect for those people who want to come and try Thailand. This is the perfect time of the year because it's wonderful. Yeah, driving legless isn't good. No. Especially if you're that guy who's had 2 amputations, legless and armless. Okay, then, everybody. Okay, I'm going to draw it to a close now. Thanks very much for joining. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'll do another live stream in a couple of weeks. And hopefully, I'll do a couple of live streams in Koh Samui and Koh Lanta. So thanks very much for joining. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, what's left of it. Bye for now.